The impetus for the big Telangana announcement comes from the fact that the national elections in which the Congress will seek a third term in power are just months away. Nearly half the 42 parliamentary seats from Andhra Pradesh are housed in Telangana, so in making it a state, the Congress hopes to win. Of dilly-dallying over whether or not to divide Andhra Pradesh, UPA is now in a fast-forward mode. Tonight on Public Forum we ask, as the suspense over Telangana means for Congress and how the decision will affect Andhra Pradesh. And joining me for more on this very esteemed guest with me, Professor Balbir Arora, well-known political analyst and also presently chairman of Centre for Multi-Level. Professor Balbir Arora for joining us here. Also with me, Dr. Sushma Yadav, Professor Public Image, Dr. Yadav for joining us here. And with me, the Associate Editor of Hindustan for joining us in this program. So in the first segment, let's try and understand what the new formation of this new state, Telangana, means for Andhra Pradesh and also for Congress. Coming straight to you,
it is, yes. I think finally the Congress and then the UPA have bitten the bullet, as it were, after almost 3.5 years. The beginning of a process, because there are constitutional dimensions, there are political dimensions. It will take a little time, but the beginning is there, certainly.
And we also remember the decision which came in when Home Minister declared that there will be a separate Telangana state, and the Congress and the UPA actually backtracked on their decision. Do you think this decision? We have seen several such meetings. The issue keeps appearing, reappearing, disappearing.
I think Mr. Chidambaram, something that triggered off an intense debate within the party and within Andhra. And you know, the counter movements also developed for a Vishal. Then the D-Day for Telangana also comes.
Okay, so when the electoral calendar comes near, the pressure is high also on the political parties, and
true. And I think it was very obvious. Everyone was expecting it also. Although this demand, if we see from the side of
UPA also and other parties, a sort of consensus has not been really built, and it will be difficult as far as having a 2/3 majority and getting the bill passed in the parliament.
Is right in stating its case, but being an ally, it is easier to satisfy it or to the Congress has deployed its arsenal to bring the SP around on a number of fronts, and so let's see.
So the Congress is more on this, and also about the administrative viability, how it affects governance, and how far it is possible to create, to have a separate state, and also to ensure that it is governed properly. Stay tuned. Telangana, what it means for Andhra now. 0011531 and 0112303542. Coming back to you, Professor Arora, now the biggest fear is that will it open Pandora's box, because the demand for Gorkha land is already intensifying. Also, we have seen the case of Vidarbha and other several states. Do you think this will make things difficult?
Well, I think renewed impetus in the areas you speak of. But the case of Telangana is a little different from the others. Telangana is a question of demerge. In 53, and it was merged. In the case of Gorkha land and the region around Darjeeling, if it is at all to be treated as a demerger, you have to go back to the middle of the 19th century, when the British were in need of a perspective. I think that for the moment it looks as if it's going to be piecemeal and ad hoc.
Commission that instead of actually forming a separate state of Telangana, let's look at the possibility of having a second states reorganization commission and see that what all should be ethnicity or what it should be. But coming to you, Professor Yadav, we know that the first Telangana movement intensified in 19. Said that there was a distinct difference between Andhra and Telangana regions, and that's the root of this whole issue, that we are very different. That's why we want to. The development criterion is concerned is well justified. Though the Sri Krishna Committee report said that Telangana is much developed than what it says.
It may be understood by the Commission and there may be basis for that. But apparently what the people of Telangana feel and what the people of Telangana represent, and especially the Telangana region in Andhra, it is a widespread feeling among people. The data only will prove whether it was true or not, but it's went to people who were not from that region, but the work, the employment, the industry, and this keeps on going. And I would take it in a different way, you know, to any region like it has come to Telangana, because I've yet to find a person from Andhra either opposing Telangana, which doesn't believe that yes, there is something wrong, which is maybe historic, which is modern, which is even postmodern, which is keeping Telangana undeveloped. And if you see in recent past, most of the states which have come out of the larger states basically were based on maybe when we have our own state, we'll be able to develop ourselves better. Time only will tell whether they'll really be able to do justice with their own people, the same region. But this feeling and this demand is based on that.